Update. Okay, I'd like to call to order the Village of Lansing Planning Board meeting for Monday, August 10th at 7:01 PM. First item on the agenda is the approval of minutes. And we have none.
No,
That's easy.
no.
Yep.
How you doing? Sorry.
Second item on the agenda is a public comment period. An opportunity for anyone from the public to make a comment about something that's not already on the agenda for this evening.
Susan Ainsley, checking in for the Board of Trustees.
Hey, Susan.
Hi, everyone.
Hearing no other comments, I'll entertain a motion to close the public comment period.
Motion to close.
Motion by Lorraine,
Second.
second by Jim, all in favor.
Aye.
Okay, next item on the agenda is to continue the discussion of village code changes and corrections. I don't know, Mike, if you have anything you want to share or not.
I don't, I mean, I've sent.
Oh, shoot.
Two of these in front of you.
You got the definition stuff that you guys sent me, I just ran it off with you. Well, you have a hard copy of it, you know, kind of through it, pretty close as far as
Yeah,
having definitions for everything.
Yep.
I think we're pretty close as far as having uses for everything.
yep. Okay, so I did send out, I don't know if everyone saw the email or not, but I did send out a updated definition list after the last meeting. We had talked about, hey, let's get a master copy. And boy, I tell you what, it's we've had a lot of discussion about all this, which has been great. But going back there, I think in my kitchen, I had like 5 or 6 piles of documents, and then the table I was working at to be like, okay, what was the actual definition we settled on? Because it's mentioned in a bunch of places. So it's printed off. The first page is just a couple quick definition things we had talked about. So the second page is where we started to talk about the actual, what do we want to be the definitions for these things. So I would like to take some time to go down through them just for accuracy, like I mentioned in email. If we get through all of them, great. If not, we at least know what we need to revisit. So we'll start at the top with the additional residential building on a single lot. That one was unanimously pretty easy. So unless anyone has any comments, we'll just check mark that one. The adult entertainment one, I know I put a note in there about, didn't we just have to remove this? So Mike, thank you for going and finding back in the notes about no changes.
That was me.
That was you. Oh, the green was you. Oh, Mike and Lorraine. Oh, I got you. Okay, thank you.
Me, yeah. So I went through all my stuff.
Okay.
I was like, because for the world, I couldn't remember us.
Yeah.
And then I was like, did Natalie say if we don't have it in, we don't.
If it's not in there, it's not a use.
We do.
Which is like, it's like Pembroke. Yeah.
Okay.
It's in there now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if people want to keep it in there, we can do that. That's fine. The one thing about this one is the definition isn't in, yeah, I guess the definition, it's not actually down in the chart of uses down there. It's mentioned elsewhere in code and it is lengthy.
Oh, right. Remember?
When we looked at it, I mean, there is
Yeah. I mean, it was like all kinds of
a
stuff.
lot of, I think it's a combination of the definition of the use. And then I don't know if that one was if there's additional conditions for that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think a lot of it is more the additional conditions, if we did allow that, so we can go and break that apart and put it in definitions and then, or we can decide it's not something we want to do.
In there that was crazy. Remember?
There's some stuff that's,
Something about that.
yeah,
It can kind of self-explanatory. I mean,
yeah,
you're not gonna mix it up, you're not gonna mix it up with another use.
it's not like theater. It's a theater, yeah, okay. Okay. Alteration to building or improved site. This is one that we talked about early on, and then as I went back through the notes, we had kind of missed it. Mike had suggested at one point to break it apart into 2 separate uses. One was an alteration where there was, I think like no change in use,
There's a
so.
discrepancy between like change in parking and not
Yeah,
change.
right.
Required change.
Okay, so we can go and break that back apart into 2 uses, or can it somehow be one use with?
Well, if you have in there alteration with a change of required parking and have that in there as a use, then I would just say if you're doing an alteration and there is no change, then it's
Okay,
a building permit.
Mhm,
Right, yeah, yep,
mhm.
Because an alteration is allowed every.
right, yeah, you can
It's
always,
just for a building permit. So I would just put in that you're required to get a special permit if you've got an alteration with a change in required parking. And the required parking, I think eventually we're gonna have to take a look at it. But that's neither here nor now.
So just remove where it says in permitted uses, an alteration that does not result in a change.
Yeah, you could leave that if you wanted to, but I mean, it's not really. You're allowed an alteration,
Mhm, mhm.
but if you're gonna change parking, then you're talking about, okay, we may have impervious surface that might be on there that.
Then you need a special.
They need a special
Tree
permit,
law,
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
okay, well, I'll touch base with you on that one. That one's easy to kind of adjust. Automotive sales service lots, no change. Does that definition look okay to people? We've drawn over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Bank administrative operations, same thing, there was no change in that one. I know we had a little bit of a discussion on that when we talked about, ATMs and things like that, but I
Didn't
think.
we amend that definition already?
Um,
We take
no.
out some as additional conditions
there was,
for somebody.
there was another place that a bank fell under, and I think that's the one that we modified. There was like bank administrative operations, and then there was, bank was mentioned somewhere else under like sales service and something.
This one came up, remember, Mike, when we discovered that the Craft Road.
Right, if they have an ATM up there, yeah,
Yeah,
but, yeah.
but.
That's where the conversation came.
Remember, wasn't it zoned? So it said, according to the zoning, that they couldn't have it.
Right.
Yeah.
People are okay with that one though? Okay. Childcare center, that's a new one. So we had talked about this, and these are the ones that I want to focus on because we had a bunch of discussion. We talked about this at the last meeting. That's from the definition that Mike had provided, or Mike and I think Natalie. There's a combination of documents.
Tried to separate school, and then when it wasn't school affiliated in a residential area, in a commercial area.
Mhm.
Didn't have a curriculum, so to speak. I don't remember exactly what we defined school as, but if you have
Later
a
on,
residential daycare, then it doesn't have a curriculum-based program. And it's in a residential area. The child daycare center is more of the same thing except in a commercial area.
Mhm.
so I think I captured that one right from the
Because
discussion.
it's very clear and how I can pigeonhole it into something.
Right, and that's that last piece there, and which is not a school,
Yeah.
because then we do define, we updated the definition for school later.
Yes.
So, okay. Good. Clinic, this is another one, and there was a lot of discussion around, all the different clinic uses too, but this one, I think we settled on no change to this one.
Mhm.
But then we added, some other ones, if that sounds right, Mike. Okay. Any other comments on that one? Commercial crop animal, there was no change to that one. Construction, sales, storage, there's no change to this one other than my comment about this is a pretty long description.
Can I just try to break that down? So if you guys want to leave it there, then there's really.
My only comment was, well, that's why I put in the note about this is pretty long, like if we can consolidate it someplace that it captures what you need to classify a use as that, let's shorten it up for people, because the longer it is, I just see, the more.
Put it in Chat GPT and ask it to shorten it up for us.
Like, but it's talking about like, floor shelves and racks and counters and tables. I'm like.
I know what they're getting at. I know
Yeah.
they're trying to include everything in here, but there's certain hot spots in here. If you leave on here, it's certainly going to distinguish it from something else.
Okay. Do you want to try to?
I can try to shorten this up.
Here, I'll do a sample to help you out.
But as long as it captures the same kind of general concept, that's fine. Data center, that's new, obviously. That was one of the two definitions. There was a shorter one that was kind of too narrow. But I think this is one of the ones, I think, Lorraine, you provided this one.
Sorry.
And it looks like, I think this was the one.
chat person?
I think this is the one that,
Note in there because I
okay.
didn't, and I wasn't sure if I was confused with the alcoholism treatment center one. Did we decide to use this one, the data center one? And then I couldn't remember if Natalie, you had a couple of samples too.
Yeah, I don't know that any of them were substantially different.
They were all similar.
They're all very
Dryden,
similar.
yeah, Dryden's is very similar to this, but
Mhm.
there was something in there, and I looked back over the definitions or the samples that we wanted to not use Dryden's.
Okay, well, after I put that note on there, then I was like, oh, wait, maybe I'm confused with the alcohol treatment center because that one, Mike did change. I think I had samples for that too, but I think Mike
Yeah, you did.
did change that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One comment I have on data centers was, and maybe can grab some of the language from Dryden, is the second sentence, a data center includes, and then there's a laundry list.
Mhm.
And it just concerns me that somebody down the road could say, well, this particular data center doesn't include, one of the things that's listed. So therefore it's not a data center.
So maybe that one, we've done that in other places. We could say like, something along the lines of, samples of.
Yeah, could include,
Right,
yeah,
okay.
could include, or I think the way Dryden puts it, including but not limited to.
Mhm.
But yeah, basically that's the thought. I don't know.
No, that's good, thank you.
May have
I think include, but.
preferred verbiage.
Good.
Included, couldn't,
Includes, but
include,
is
but
not
not
limited to.
You have to look at it too, if you get a case like this where someone disputes it, if I classify it as a data center and they say, no, it's not. They have every right to go
Right.
to the BZA,
Yeah.
it's up to the BZA to determine whether definition is.
I think give the BZA.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I think the other side includes but not limited to, but also include phrasing to suggest that if the entity doesn't include one or more of these things, that doesn't mean it's not a data center simply because all these elements that are listed, they're not there. So I think we need to make it clear that it could include these things, but
Mhm.
it could still be a data center maybe without some of this stuff.
Is not limited to,
This is gonna be a
More
big
work.
fight down there.
or something along those lines. I can work on it.
Okay. The last sentence there too, had a question about crypto mining or cryptocurrency mining facilities may be regulated separately. But then we never go and
Yeah.
do anything about that anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, technically,
I
if.
think Dryden didn't have that in there.
Yeah, I would.
We could take that.
That was kind of my suggestion about taking it out, because I mean, if you look at any of those current mining facilities, in my mind, they are data centers.
Just take those right out.
Just take the last sentence of cryptocurrency right out, yeah. Okay.
Do you want me to take it right off of here?
No, I'll go, I'll go do it later, yeah.
All right,
Or if you're in there, you can take it off of it.
right in it, yeah.
Yeah, so basically the data, now he's gonna write it in such a way that the data center, could include these things, but not necessarily all of them.
Prior to.
But also, this is not an exhaustive list.
Right, yeah,
Right.
yeah, and we've done that elsewhere in a few, and some of the other things, yeah.
Just messed up the formatting.
That's okay, we'll fix it later. Because I was pasting stuff in there from different documents, it was all 18 different fonts and sizes. Okay, cannabis dispensary, that's new. This one we talked about at the last one. There's the definition, and then there were some samples in there, and this is kind of similar to up above. I said additional conditions could include,
Mhm.
and there were some things, the discussion we had, some of them might be covered under the state law. Some of them might not be, but we could keep them in there.
So we call out these particular things that they can't do.
Right, so
And we don't do that for any of the others.
Some other uses.
some other uses, right, so
Then-
this is one that we said, this is not just a special permit, it's a special permit with additional conditions. So those bullet points down there would be some of the additional conditions.
Right.
And we call that out in some of the other uses.
And I mean, those are, I think, those are really important additional conditions.
Yeah, I think it's along the lines of,
Yeah.
instead of us having to remember with each special permit that we're gonna throw these on every single special permit for this, just make it a blanket in the.
Yeah. Okay. Any other comments on that, or is that good?
Did something in here and I don't know what I did.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
no.
Oh, you know what? I think I recopied in the whole definition for construction, sales and storage. Don't ask me how that happened. I will take it out.
Next one is drug and alcohol treatment center, so this is a new one.
Very comprehensive.
Yes. Did it come from you? I think, I couldn't keep track of who it came, who stuff came from. I had emails from
I
Natalie.
think it's good, whoever came up
Yeah.
with it.
We discussed it,
Yeah.
whoever came up with it, did a great job. Good job, whoever did.
I think you did, did, no?
Probably not. If it's a really good one, I didn't.
It was a really good one. I didn't do it. Okay. Employee cafeteria, food and beverage, that one there was no change to. And you can read I mean, it's self-descriptive. This one, government buildings. The only thing I did was modify it to remove post offices. That was a note from Natalie in one of her comments. Other than that, it's, yeah. I'm sure there's more things in there, but I think office covers most of the other stuff. Group residential, this one we modified a little bit. This is where we had the discussion about boarding houses. I think sororities and fraternities was in this one too. So down in the one thing that I did add in here too, other than the general discussion was originally does not include private or public hospital, motel or hotel. I added in does not include group home because we had a discussion about group home in there too and how that would landed differently.
We don't then define a group home.
Group home was defined somewhere. I think in terms, I thought group home was referenced up there. Or maybe not, maybe we need to add it up. That's why I think that C 145.3 note is there. But maybe we need to add something else. No? So then do we need to define it?
What is the difference? I know we have spent so much time on this definition, but what is the difference between group residential and a group home?
Don't they get like additional care in a group home sometimes?
Yeah, it was. Oh, much explain out the big chart.
More like managed treatment kind of place too.
Would that be?
We must have added.
No, because we
So,
Residential.
so you're looking at the original sheet here. So we noted on here, note that this is different from a group home is traditionally considered for those with disabilities. To avoid confusion, I suggest changing to lodging house or.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
That must have been your note, right? Or no, Natalie's.
That was Natalie's note.
So.
But either way, if we add something in there about lodging house or boarding house, we still would then have to define that because lodging house and boarding house, neither of those are in code either.
Maybe it's stating the obvious, but do you want to put in an express exclusion of apartment buildings?
Just like we say, does not include group home, private public hospital, or motel or hotel.
I mean, the definition would fit an apartment building.
Sorry, what's that?
I think the definition could be interpreted to include. an
Yeah,
apartment building.
that's
Yeah.
what I was thinking. Or is that the intent?
No,
I don't think the term group residential doesn't really bring to mind an apartment building, but the way this
just
is.
like individual, I think right in an apartment, you have your individual I don't know how, I guess I don't know how group residential necessarily.
I don't know what would be a group residence.
This group residential starts out almost as a definition of a multi-unit
Oh, yeah,
residential
a multi-
until
yeah.
you get for compensation. I don't know.
no, because you pay
Mm,
rent.
That's true.
I think the multi-unit is the problem because all of these, well, dormitories somewhat multi-unit,
Yeah,
but a fraternity and sorority house are not. I mean, there's rooms.
yeah.
Is the goal
Well, I
that
mean,
it's
technically,
not?
a dorm is like that too. You have
There's
a
a
room.
you usually don't have a kitchen.
It's a
Like,
shared kitchen, yeah.
there's usually a shared kitchen, which I think would be. Well, I
Group
think this-
residential would be that way though too, wouldn't it? Or not? Like it's.
it would- I don't even know what would constitute
That's
group
okay.
residential is the problem. We're trying to define something that we
A
don't.
rooming house? I don't know if rooming houses still exist, but
That's in the
That, so
current
that's in the
definition.
current definition that we had updated
It's
to this
rooming
one,
house.
yeah, is rooming house, yep.
So maybe we need to play with this one a little bit.
Okay. Okay. Heavy manufacturing, this one's new. There's also light manufacturing later on if anybody wants to. Yeah,
Mhm.
yep. I think this is good though, yeah.
I don't think it's an issue here, but I mean, an automobile assembly plant, I think would be heavy manufacturing.
Wow.
An automobile assembly plant or engine plant, but well, that would be for industrial use, but
Yeah, I mean, I
I
would,
mean, a car manufacturer fits.
yeah, that would be,
Might be
up with Mike, but yeah, I would consider that more of a heavy
I don't think
manufacturing.
we have to worry about it, but still in terms of definition.
Okay, high traffic food and beverages, there's no change to that one. Home occupation, there was no change to that one. People can take a look at it though. Hospital, there was no change to. I think I think that was with all the discussion of all the different uses that surround that. That one stayed the same. We changed other things. Indoor rec club, this was the one that we were considering. I'm sorry. I'll wait for that.
Absolutely, an
There you go.
occupation.
Number, the bullet point
However,
two,
it
no.
should not be considered a home occupation in the event there are no employees, customers, students, no sale of goods, and no additional, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. That sentence, the however. So are all those things still allowed or they're not allowed? It's a lot of double negatives.
Go take a look at it and try to.
It almost sounds like all of those things would be allowed,
Right.
but they're probably not.
Because, right, for home occupation, you're gonna have customers.
I think it
Well,
needs to be, it's a big double negative to me. Or something like that.
I think home occupation, you're not a customer, because then you're talking about sales and service.
well, and that was kind of the
But
second one there. There's,
occupation is like a home hair salon.
right.
A tax advisor, a lawyer.
Which that
Dog
last piece there,
regulation.
like, no additional,
I think it's to mean that maybe we need to look at that one.
reevaluate, there we go. Okay,
Because usually there's something about like not being able to sense it from the outside, like except for a sign.
yeah, we had talked about sign, we had talked
Yeah.
about this a little bit too, so maybe we
Yeah.
can go back and take a look at those minutes, because we did talk about home occupation. I think it was part of this, unless it was just a separate home occupation discussion we had about, I know it's come up in a couple places.
So the only thing we have now separating the home occupation, other than sale and service, the type of limit.
Yeah.
and area. Same building. So. Makes it kind of difficult because. I know some places where if you have a person on, there is a home occupation, but you can have a lot of cars. But yeah,
So if that's what we don't want to allow, I think that's fine. I just think it needs to be reworded because I think it's confusing as written. If everyone else thinks it's clear as
Oh,
written,
yeah.
that's
no,
fine.
Oh, no, it's
I
not.
mean,
No, yeah.
if you guys.
No, I totally get it,
want-
Natalie.
Yeah.
No, if you guys want to allow someone to have, I mean, everybody has their hair salon or something, but it's in a lawyer's office, we have people coming. Or home account, somebody has
Yeah.
an accounting up. They're going to have people coming in and out, but where's the threshold between that? The sentence of sale or service? Gotta figure out some kind of threshold, other than. If they live in the same building, like,
Like number of customers at one time.
You know, and you don't, the residential pieces it covers it.
the whole employees thing is one big thing.
Oh, that's
different.
Like a hair salon in Shannon Park at some point.
Yeah, there was a big upgoing, or whatever you wanna call it, about that when they.
Yeah,
When that came about, it's been about traffic.
yeah.
I mean, brouhaha, big brouhaha.
What do you find confusing? I mean, I'm looking at this, there's some, obviously I must be missing some. It looks like it's fairly clear, like if you're you're the lawyer, you talk to clients on the phone from your home, you write things, you mail things out, but they never come. I mean, that's excluded.
How it's worded.
How it's worded. So this activity should not be considered a home occupation and not subject to special permit approval. Almost to me as then these activities are going to be permitted if there are no employees, no sale of goods, and no additional traffic produced. So that's not, everything is fine, but then it is a home occupation if you have employees and sale of goods and additional traffic is produced,
It's,
therefore requiring a special permit.
that's, I don't know, that's sort of what I'm reading it, but
I just think we should say then, a home occupation means you have employees, there's a sale of goods, and or additional traffic will be produced, instead of doing what it doesn't.
so turning the exclusions into positive language,
Yeah,
that
get it.
if any of these things happen, it's a home occupation.
You rearrange and provide, however, that not, no, yeah. Or not and not yet.
Yeah, I'm fine with the factors, I just think rewording it.
Yeah.
Okay, so in other words, making those keep the factors as is, but change it to a positive.
Mhm.
If any of these factors exist, it's a home occupation.
Yeah,
That's it, because I think the factors are good.
yeah,
The only one that might be a little mushy is, additional vehicle
Yeah.
traffic, but if somebody, it really is a home occupation, but say, like one person a day comes to visit them.
I think it would be
One
expected of
person
a
at a time,
customary
it's not-
dwelling unit.
Yeah.
But you
And you're
don't,
gonna have a
Yeah.
parent visitor here and
Yep.
there to a home, so that's.
you don't, but you don't really, in a neighborhood, you don't really want that. Even if your person next door in the house or in the next apartment over, you don't really want like these other people coming in. Of course, they can have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Realize that. But nevertheless, for the business thing, yeah, but I mean, rewriting it as the way you've described, saying if it includes any of these things, it's a home, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like the factors,
Yeah, no, I think the factors are good. I thought the wording was a little strange.
okay.
The title's a little weird. Home occupation. Like a home being
Yeah, it
occupied,
is.
Took it over. If you take out the two knots and the two no's, it makes.
I don't know.
Not from the nose.
A lot, yeah.
It's like a home office, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's really what it is. Okay, hospital. No change for that one. And then at the end, we have a couple does not includes in there, so. Anything else that needs to go in there, Mike, under that does not include
No, I
section?
think we basically left that one alone.
Yeah, we did.
Had everything else revolved around it.
Okay. Okay.
Did we then ever allow for a veterinary hospital? Since it does not include a veterinary hospital?
The studio service?
This service,
Yeah, I think that's what it would have
I
to
think
be.
we specifically talked about.
Yeah,
Office studio service?
yeah. Because that's where you get things that are like doctors,
Veterinary.
dentists. Oh, yeah, veterinarian, there you go.
Animals under treatment.
There you go.
Just want to make
We
sure.
did it. Okay. Indoor rec club, this is the one that we had talked about. Putting in there, putting something about food service in there, yeah. So that one you're,
Did you see what I sent you, Mike?
No, I didn't.
Oh, that's okay. I'll resend. We'll work on that one.
okay. Large equipment sales and service, this is just a rename from large equipment, definition stayed the same though. Light manufacturing, this one was tricky because, yeah, so we have the definition in there. We had combined it with light industry and manufacturing. But was there anything, and then we were gonna get rid of the commercial assembly use? Was there anything from the commercial assembly definition that we wanted to bring into this definition?
Sorry, clarification on large equipment.
Yes,
It does count for camper sales, but excludes mobile home sales.
mobile home park in sales. So I guess you don't want to sell, yeah, like campers and trailers, yes, but not like,
There's no reason to have it exclude mobile.
Yeah.
Parking sales,
just get rid of that one.
mobile home park, I mean, that's not even the same.
That's not even a large equipment sales and service, that's not like a residential kind of thing, right?
Yeah, and now has its own regulations.
So just get rid of that, strike that last line then.
Yes.
Yeah,
Are you doing that, Lorraine, or no?
I'm gonna,
Okay.
taking it out right now.
Good on that one?
Mhm.
So light manufacturing, this is the one that we combined, light industry and manufacturing, was there something from the commercial assembly definition that we should add in here? There was a ton of discussion on this one.
One. Either assembled by machine. Assembled by.
Yeah.
One was assembled by a machine.
I thought there was something else down here later about that. That was it, it wasn't sales, maybe that was this discussion. And I know I saw that in here, and there was just some back and forth about, does it matter if it's assembled by a machine or not?
Talked that if it was assembled by a machine, it probably required less parking than if it was a factory that was assembled by
Right.
people.
I'm just looking at this and trying to think what would be the right location for activities do not involve the creation of noxious byproducts, which is not really a sentence, but it's a modification maybe of the first sentence, or just tweak the wording a little bit.
Say that one more time, Jim? Which part?
The last sentence, well, it's not really a sentence. Activities do not involve the creation of noxious byproducts. I'm just thinking of, should we kind of work that in as an ending to the first sentence, or just tweak the wording a little bit? So,
just grammatically,
yeah,
yeah.
What do you want? What did you want it to say? Sorry.
I'm not sure I'm deferring to now.
Oh,
So
okay.
business where all processing, fabrication, assembly, or disassembly of items take place wholly within an enclosed building and do not involve the creation of noxious byproducts.
Something like that, yeah.
So you're gonna take out the last line then, right?
Yeah, and put it after, at kind of at the end of the first sentence, within an enclosed building and do not involve the creation of noxious byproducts. Good at it, or good learning.
Got it.
I know we've talked about this, but how do we define light manufacturing? Is it about the amount that they manufacture? The weight? Need to clarify that, or will they themselves?
And then we have heavy manufacturing, previous to this. And I think it's more like, and this goes back to Mike's other point too about heavy manufacturing really is involving, large machinery, significant investment, things like that versus light manufacturing. I think that was kind of in just a single building, like, JMX would be light manufacturing, I would assume. Yeah. Is JMX still over there?
In, I think so. The Wells has sold it years ago. No, who is it?
You good on that one, or are you thinking? Thinking this, okay.
Would this be like things like a computer center? Like,
Not necessarily, because if you look at the next one down, there's like low impact technology and
no, it says computer centers in the definition
where,
for low impact.
oh yeah, there you go.
We get rid of data processing. Or is that's not a data center?
Nah, data processing is not a data center necessarily. I know places where it's, and I think there's
Or
probably,
just maybe say does not include data.
maybe it does not include data centers. Because there's places where it's like, you're gonna send us information and we're gonna type it up or whatever. That's more
Yeah.
like data processing, yeah. So it does not include data center. Did you get that, Larry?
No.
So, on
Good to go. Do you want data
on
taken out completely?
which one?
Data processing?
No, that's fine, but at the very end of low impact technology, after training applications,
Yep.
does not include data center.
You, if any, nuisance characteristics, that opens a door for some nuisance characteristics. Do we want that, or do we just say with no nuisance characteristics?
Well, we
Or-
have, yeah, no, I'll have to go back this one. I don't know if it means anything, but we already have rules and zoning about odor, noise
Hmm.
and whatnot, so I don't know whether we define a use by saying that it can't produce a certain amount of noise or odor or whatnot, because we already have for that, so I don't know whether.
That is like largely the current definition minus some examples.
Yes.
I think the few is allowing for some tractor trailer traffic in and out. If you would consider that a nuisance characteristic.
Yeah. That was another one I was gonna mention, the little or no traffic. Little tractor trailer, little or no tractor trailer traffic, little obviously allows some.
Mhm.
Do we want that? I haven't gotten to that point yet.
Something to do to whether it require a big dock.
That one's in here, no loading docks.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's.
Oh, I mean, you
It's like
would.
last one.
I think it's one thing if you're like, building a cash register and you're building cash register and you're shipping it out via UPS versus I'm building a lot of cash registers
Yeah,
with heavy machinery and I need a loading dock because I'm sending out 2 tractor trailer loads a day. That's, yeah. Not that I think that many people. cash
so no
registers.
track,
Yeah, so,
I would say no tractor trailer traffic.
yeah. No tractor trailer traffic.
Take out with little?
Yeah.
Take out with
Take out
little.
little or and just say with no tractor trailer traffic and no loading docks.
You want to get rid of the nuisance characteristics? Like just say, start it at small scale
Small scale technology.
utilizing, the scale of operations utilizes, somehow modify the first sentence just to get rid of nuisance characteristics.
So what was your proposed
It would be something like small scale technology operations utilizing services.
okay, so the whole nuisance characteristics
Yes.
clause disappears. Yeah,
I put that in there. So small scale technology operations utilizing services having few, if any, what is it?
You can get rid of having few, if any, nuisance characteristics, just get rid of that piece of it. So small scale technology operations utilizing services such as UPS, Postal Service, Federal Express.
Okay, so I can take
No tractor trailer traffic and no loading
the
docks.
scale of operations can all come out.
Yeah. Though I will say, I don't necessarily see an issue with having the loading dock there, UPS, FedEx, and
I'm fine with it.
yeah, but so I think maybe where we say no tractor trailer traffic and no loading docks, I think we can strike the no loading docks too. Like, you can have no tractor trailers, great, but it's very nice for UPS to be able to back up to a loading dock.
Okay, so you're saying take out with no tractor trailer traffic and no loading docks.
Yes.
No, because
Or-
you don't want tractor trailer traffic.
Yeah, you want with no tractor trailer traffic, period.
Oh, okay.
Just get rid of and no loading docks.
In the light manufacturing, can they have a loading dock?
We don't call it
No.
out in there. I mean, that's a smaller, yeah.
I mean, I think we probably should.
Back to the light manufacturing industry or commercial assembly, I went back to my notes, and the only real difference in the definitions between the two is the commercial assembly was assembled by mechanically assembled, whereas the other light manufacturing could be done with employees. So I didn't know whether you wanted to combine those two, or whether they have them separate.
The goal was to combine them.
Okay.
I think this dictates either way how it's
Yeah.
assembled.
Yeah, if it's not called out in there.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the original intent, when I looked back through all the notes. Okay. So then-
Is low impact technology even something producing a shippable good? Though, like that seems like light manufacturing.
Data processing is not necessarily a shippable good. Computer centers, no.
Like we focus.
Laser technology applications. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
You focus a lot on
Service and
the
repair.
shipping, but it doesn't seem like anything to be
Yeah.
shipped.
Testing, design, and training applications, that's not a shippable thing. Yeah, those don't sound like you're actually producing a physical product.
And that perhaps those shipping modifications should be in light manufacturing. Like Soledad
Yeah,
mentioned.
I'm curious where. So this is the difference. The only difference. There's differences in the zones for those two uses. Light manufacturing and low impact technology. Light manufacturing is not allowed in CLT, but low impact technology is. Light manufacturing is allowed in commercial high traffic, but low impact technology is not. Those are, and then also light manufacturing is allowed in HHS. Oh no, light manufacturing is not allowed in HHS, but low impact technology is. I don't know if you see a big, maybe we need to reevaluate these.
Let me look through
Yeah.
this and find, and use like an example for me. If, how would I define them being different?
Yeah,
And what was the impact on where they're, what district they're allowed in?
because if they don't need to be different, they can just, maybe everything can be combined into light manufacturing industry or commercials.
Let me try to put those, what I can do.
Yeah, we can. So I like laser technology applications. Okay. Low traffic food and beverage, there was no change there. Medical and dental laboratory, this was a medical laboratory before we added in dental. Yeah. Different than a hospital. Yeah. So that one's good. Mixed use, there was no change there. That one's very short and.
Intentionally vague.
No, I mean, mixed use, it's literally residential and commercial. That's,
Building contains the commercial use had, the commercial, whatever commercial use is within that building has to be allowed within that district.
Right.
It can't just be mixed use, you're allowed this matter what you put in there.
but that's defined elsewhere in code too.
Is that?
I think so. I thought that was in there. I thought we talked about that.
Define where.
That mixed use, yeah, there's a whole. Yeah, that was the same, but. No,
I don't think that says that. Should we expressly state that both
Yeah, we
uses
can
must
put
be
that.
allowed in the district?
I mean, it's easy enough for us to add anything.
I mean, I think so.
So it was something in
Is
there
that your
about,
point out about it being vague, Soledad?
I guess my question is like earlier you were saying, Jim, like how people aren't going to want a whole lot of, you know, cars if there's a business. So if someone's trying to like convert or like have a home occupation business, but then a new company can come in and create a mixed use and then they can have more cars because they're under mixed use, but we can't, like, you're not allowed to change your house to mixed use. See what I'm saying? That's confusing. Like,
I was following you there for a second,
Like you think a home occupation is mixed use?
kind of.
because that's a
It's not-
so that would be a house in a residential district.
A mixed use is not allowed in.
Right.
Hmm.
Oh,
Then this-
there you go.
This,
So you can only have mixed use in commercial districts.
Okay. Okay.
But still, I mean, we can put something in here
No,
to,
I was just wondering, I didn't.
So mixed use would be like the owner of the business lives above the store that they run.
You could, but in a residential district.
Right.
Right, well, that can be in a
I see
commercial
what
district.
you're saying, you couldn't change it because it wouldn't be allowed in a residential district.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I need to start memorizing all the, sorry.
No,
The questions are confusing.
we don't allow single family dwellings in.
in commercial districts, yeah, so you couldn't have one person. They could have a few apartments up there and happen to live in one.
Yeah,
Do we want to specifically call out anything else there, or do you think it's good? Like if we want to put in, you know,
all the businesses must be permitted in the district.
yeah. So all uses must be permitted. within the
District.
in which they. Okay, never mind. Natalie, I'll look at it.
Like,
All uses, dot.
Want me to highlight it or something? All uses must be permitted within the district in which they ...
That's what I did. I'll use,
You want me to highlight that, Natalie?
So,
I have a running list.
so what are you proposing? I'm not sure where we are now.
Make it clear that I don't want someone to come in and just say, oh, well, I'm doing mixed use, so I can do a use that's not permitted in the district because it's mixed use and you're allowing mixed use in the district.
Oh, and they could try to theoretically, they could try that in the residential portion of the district or.
Or in the commercial,
In the commercial
for
place.
just because it's mixed use, now I'm gonna do this use that would otherwise not be permitted.
Okay,
So the proposed add-on is
Yeah.
to say what?
it's clear in residential, 'cause it's not allowed. but-
Not allowed.
We put a single family.
That all uses
Commercial
proposed
building.
have to be permitted within the district.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Good add-on, yeah.
mobile home, this will.
The home, I want to look at that more
Okay.
because I think we might even want to eliminate that. It's not even recognized. in
Yeah, it
uniform
has to be
coding.
treated as a single family dwelling. at
yes.
this point.
And we had some discussion about this, okay. Okay, Mike's on that one. Motel, hotel, the only one, for this one, the definition is the third bullet point down. It says provision of living accommodations on a primarily transient basis, see 145.3. 145.3 doesn't say anything about hotel, it only says motel. So the comment from everything was just to kind of update 145.3 and call it motel and hotel, so it all matched up. But is that definition good? Living accommodations on a primarily transient basis? We had said it was good before, but while we're here revisiting
Yeah.
it.
I mean, for here, I mean, there were stories of, people like in Washington DC or New York that were long-term residents of
Yeah.
hotels.
Right.
But here it's probably fine, although how long do people stay at the, what is it, the Econo Lodge over here?
Budget, it's
Homeless.
called the Budget Inn now.
Oh, is it?
It's a Budget Inn. Oh, yeah, they've even redid their sign, not on the property, but on their
Oh, okay.
pole
I mean,
there.
I guess you can, I don't, that's,
You're allowed to, the uniform code allows them to stay up to 30 days. After that, they get classified as something different. And then there's all the rules, so. Yeah, but it's hard to control that because what if somebody moves from one room to 30 days to another room?
Yeah,
But if they're allowing long-term
stays.
stays in there, they are no longer classified, they could change, the classification could change the uniform code, so once you change that, then you change a lot of fire protection, everything else, so they can't do that.
because apparently the Meadow Court was a kind of a de facto long-term residence for people.
Oh, no.
I don't know if it still is, but
I guess they have to go through a lot of.
So for hotel motel, the definition in 145.3 is different from the definition in definitions. And the definition in definition does include hotel.
But it doesn't include motel. Right, no, it
Motel.
doesn't.
And then this definition includes hotels.
Oh, okay, maybe. I
And it's a
missed that.
different definition. So I think we should make those the same.
Match them up. Oh, I think when I said include, when I updated it to say, include hotel, I meant at the beginning there, where it says, where it says motel, I meant to
Hotel.
say motel/hotel. And then you can get rid of the endpoint there that says this definition
Yeah.
includes hotels. But then the definition both here in the chart of uses and up in 145.3 should be the same. Which is,
Why are we getting isn't the thought to get rid of these and
yeah, but motel and hotel are then referenced in multiple
Other
places
places.
throughout code too,
Okay.
so I think if we match
so
them
we
up.
want to make sure they're the,
Yeah,
which
so
one are we?
match up with 145.3. And I think the definition in 145.3 is better. A building or group of buildings, blah, blah, blah. And then we could also put something in there about, primarily on a transient basis. So I'll take that. And just clean that up. Okay, museums, public buildings, there was no changes there. That one is also pretty straightforward. Same thing with natural parks, there were no changes there. Office studio service is something that we did modify so that we could, get rid of sales and service, I think is sales and service. So that we could get rid of sales, repair, maintenance, and just clean stuff up. So this, I think, was from you, Mike.
I think it's good.
Okay. Outdoor rec club, we didn't have any changes on. I think that was good. I don't know if we had talked about outdoor.
We're maybe gonna add in the ancillary food or?
That was for indoor rec club, or I guess would it be
I
added
thought
for
we were
both?
talking
Oh,
about it
okay.
for outdoor.
Oh, yeah, I guess we haven't talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Some of these would, like amusement park.
I mean, we were using the golf course. but-
Yeah, golf course
Yeah.
was our biggest example.
But I mean, like, I know rod and gun clubs that have like a kitchen, a lot of them have a kitchen in them to serve food.
Yeah.
Um, boating, maybe not.
Exclude-
Swimming
okay, it
though,
excludes
yeah.
that stuff.
Swimming though, I mean,
Swim
if it's a
club.
swim club, that's snacks. I mean,
But
it's
that'd
not
be
like
great if they could have a kitchen.
roller dog. So maybe we want to think about the same
Yeah.
carve out
Same
for indoor.
ancillary
Okay.
food.
What's next? Pharmacy, so this was something that was new. It was, the definition is new. Pharmacy was in the code before, but there was no definition for it. So this is the definition that we had, come up with.
Establishment where drugs or some
You put prescription drugs.
medication.
Not everything is.
Yeah, not everything is.
That's,
Yeah, and not everything's compounded.
It just seems.
Medication.
we could also put over the counter and under the counter. No, what would it be? Over the counter and.
It's like the black market. So at least medication.
You want medication instead of drugs?
Medications.
Yeah, medications.
Prescription medications.
Until we get the.
Well, I don't think we need prescription. It
No,
already
you can
says
get rid of the
according to
prescriptions,
prescription,
yeah.
so that gets stupid.
No, I put medications.
It's on a pharmacy, cannabis dispensary. One.
What's the primary use? Yeah.
No. You could just drive through,
Yeah.
pull up to the window and.
Okay. Good with that though?
Yeah.
Okay. Religious facility,
Where did we kind of end up in pharmacy?
so just replacing, the word drugs with medications.
And that's it,
Yep.
medications are. That, you said something about taking prescriptions out too.
No, there was a comment should be where prescription medication are sold and dispensed, but hence that dispensing is according to a prescription, I didn't think we needed it in both places.
So religious facility, why I didn't find this yesterday, I'm not sure. So religious facility before just said C 145.3. So again, we should have the same description. If we need to keep it up in 145.3 because it's referenced in multiple places, that's fine. But we should make the descriptions match. So originally, we had new in here. I'm curious, but I see some notes in here. So this is what's in 145.3 right now. But there was a proposed definition. I don't know why I say this. A structure or place in which worship, ceremonies, rituals, and education pertaining to a particular system of beliefs are held, together with its accessory buildings and uses, including buildings used for educational and recreational activities, operated, maintained, and controlled under the direction of a religious group. Examples include churches, mosques, synagogues, temples, or other places of worship. Accessory uses may include, but are not limited to, parking, caretakers housing, pastors housing, group living facilities such as covens or columbarium.
Where?
That is. Never heard that word in my time. Or a more simple, there was another proposed edit to take the original, what's there, and just say something along the lines of including facilities for religious education or a cemetery attached there too.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Do you want me to tell you what that means? I just looked it up.
Yes, please tell me.
Permanent structure, wall, or room designed with recessed compartments called niches to securely hold funeral urns containing the cremated ashes of the dead.
Okay.
What about, in most of these religious facilities, though, they also have kitchens and areas.
Yeah, yep.
Do we need to put anything in there about that?
I don't know how that gets
No,
regulated.
no, no, why?
Do we want to put an or, including facilities for religious education?
That was, it was including facilities for religious education or a cemetery attached to it too.
That wasn't it, yeah.
A lot of times churches have kitchens right in the building. But I think
That's not a commercial thing though. That's like, hey, after the ceremony, we're having a potluck or
Yeah.
it's.
No, I wasn't-
Nice today and we're having
wasn't advocating to put
Yeah.
it in, I was just noting that's kind of part of the building, part of the use.
Yeah,
I don't know that we need to have it.
It's not like. for
not a commercial use,
No.
you're just using it as you would.
Yeah.
I don't think we need
So
to.
are we okay with it as is, or do we wanna? That other proposed definition was pretty lengthy. Place of worship, facilities for religious education, or a cemetery attached there, so we can at least change
You
that.
had a long.
Yeah, can you at least change that one, Lorraine?
Sorry, I pulled up the
No, you're good.
hand because I was getting ready to, I didn't know if you wanted to use the proposed definition or not, or I was gonna copy it.
It seems pretty,
No, I don't think.
that one's, the proposed definition
Yeah.
seems like it's a bit
Yeah.
heavy-handed. I do, at the very least, I think that we should change, including facilities for religious education or a cemetery attached there too in the first sentence. It should be an or instead of an and.
Wait, sorry.
Religious education or a cemetery attached there too.
I think just that's fine.
Other than that, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
For,
Wait, so you're not gonna go with the proposed?
yeah, that's a lot. For what we're
I
trying
don't
to
know that we
capture.
also need to see 145.30 if it's the same definition. Just need to make sure to amend it in both.
Yes, yeah, that we can do too. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, anything else on religious facility?
Yeah, just one thing, let me reread this, I'm thinking, okay, so what about, We need to. Let me reread this before I ask the question. I mean, I think it's. So you have a piece of property, you have. You have the Catholic church there, and behind it is the elementary school or the kindergarten. I mean, that's, in my mind, is a school, but. Do we need to specifically carve that out, because there is a sentence explaining certain things are not religious facility, that they're schools, but what I just described is not one of them. Do we want to expand the carve out, or am I putting too fine of a point here? It says, does not include nursery schools. Childcare centers, daycare centers, and day camps for 7 or more pupils operated in a religious facility or by an organization. I mean, I would think that other building, I mean, it's clearly a school, but do we want to expressly, carve it out as a school, or is it kind of self-evident?
Repeat what the type of, sorry, it's a separate building that's a school.
I'm thinking of, where there's a campus and you have the church, there's a parking lot, and then there's a school, like an elementary school, which, not a nursery school, although I don't know, maybe there's a nursery school on the property, but it's an elementary school. And, I mean, it's clearly a school, but it's not listed as one of the carve-outs. So do we need to add something like that as a part of the carve-out that?
I think we add school, just school. I don't know. And since we've now changed the definition
Yeah,
we want to make sure that all of these words, nursery school, childcare center,
match
daycare
up with
center,
what we have for,
and camps, I'm not sure we define that, match up to what we've changed them to. And then we could also just add school. It would have to be a separate use that they get approved for. If there's also a school with the
They
church.
can have two uses on the same.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Can't have two uses on it.
oh, right, yeah, okay.
Thinking of Covenant Love in Dryden. Are you thinking of that school/church
I
thing?
mean, a lot of Catholic schools
Yeah.
are a church and an elementary school.
Right, that's what I was thinking
You
of.
just don't have to have any.
Not anymore.
But I mean, it does say right there, though, such uses are considered.
No, we've never had, you've
It
never,
doesn't list school.
It doesn't list school in the thing, yeah. So,
never had anything in the village like that, right?
No,
And the only one was downtown.
probably won't.
Separate building.
Yeah, but you never know.
It has all these other things. I just wanted to exclude some.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a separate building, though. It could be one big monstrous building, and you could say, yeah, you're doing two different
Two
uses.
uses in one
Yeah.
building.
So then add,
Well, where,
That's-
before, hold on, wait. You want it before, should I add school after include schools, comma, nursery schools? Do you want it before?
I would say include schools, comma, nursery schools, childcare centers.
Yeah.
Just put it at the beginning there.
Done.
Okay, so this use does not include schools, nursery schools, childcare centers, and so forth. I mean, that would seem to cover it. Because the school is a separate use.
But they can have facilities for religious ed classes, which would not be considered a school.
Yeah.
Do we want to keep the 7 or more pupils? Or just omit that? We define what nursery school,
We
childcare.
did like, yeah, we did define them later on.
So just go from day camps.
Yeah.
Operated in a religious facility.
Yeah, so get rid of for 7 or more pupils.
Yeah.
Okay.
Day camps operated in a religious facility. Or by a religious organization. Good on that one? Okay. Research, design, prototype production, this use was there before, but it was not defined. So there is a,
There is a possible definition?
So that's this one that I included here in the document was the proposed description. Proposed one, yeah. Right, so it's really meant for, it's not meant for actual production, like at scale for sale, it's meant for
Mhm.
prototyping and things like that. That's the, limited fabrication or manufacturing necessary for the production.
Is that assemblage? I've never seen that. I don't think I've ever seen that word.
Yeah.
If I may, out of curiosity, how is that different from assembly?
You're not actually doing the assembly, you're making things that would be necessary for the assembly of something.
Oh, okay. Learn something new every day.
I learned a new word a few minutes ago. I was like, I don't even know how to say this word. Pretty good at sounding things out. I was like, I think Mike tossed that one in there. Are folks okay with that at first glance, or do you want more time to think about it? Okay. Residential daycare center, that's also new. That's one that we had talked about last meeting and we had all agreed on. Any other comments on that one? Residential multi-unit, that's just, again, a reordering of the words and taking out the kind of language that was in there. Other than that, it's the same accessory facilities and residential activities, including gardening and keeping of pets. It's the same for, I think, one unit. I think it's the same for all of them. Oh, the only difference is for one unit and, 2 unit farming is in there. Gardening or farming and keeping of pets. Multi-unit is just gardening and keeping of pets, so there's no farming and carve out in there.
We don't ever say like more than 2 units.
And
That's the
accessory,
multi-unit.
Yeah.
and accessory facilities would be things like an on-site gym or work facility.
I think, no, in residential, I think that's more like like a shed.
Oh, okay, that's right. This is residential,
residential, yeah.
not high density or.
Yeah, but there's nothing in there about like. Yeah, like 1 is 1, 2 is 2, multi is more than 2. Yeah. Good. I'm gonna put a check mark next to multi 1 and 2. Sales large scale, that's new. And so this is, and so is the next one, sales small scale. So these are, very.
The definitions for multi-unit, 1 unit and 2 unit are actually the same. You're just inferring the 1, 2 and multi-unit because they're not.
Yeah, the only difference is in multi-unit, there isn't the word farming.
No, I know, but shouldn't we
Yeah, other
say if
than-
we're defining something like 2 units?
Yeah, 2 unit. Used to say.
It's not in the current definition.
It's not in the all the definitions are actually the same minus the defining. That would say like 1 unit, including accessory, 2 units, including 3 or more units.
3 or more
including-
units.
Yeah, that's what that was in, wasn't that in like defined in 2 different places though?
Hold on. There's a lot of multi-residential.
A
lot to search there.
2 places.
Yes. See, it's in building. I like the building comma residential.
Oh, yeah.
Detached building containing 1 dwelling unit, detached building containing 2 dwelling unit. A
Is that the
detached building
terms?
containing 3, yes.
Okay.
So I think we should match terms
Yep.
and get rid of the includes. accessory facilities and residential activities. I don't even know what them,
That you can have a shed.
but
That's not even, I don't even care about the accessory buildings and whatnot.
Yeah, because that's covered separately under accessory buildings. Anyway. So match these up with, match these up in book terms.
yeah, look at this. group residential.
Put a star next to that for you, definitely.
But there's also a different one in terms. Group residential.
Oh, no, well, and that's where it says C 145.3 in it, yeah, so. Yeah,
Which doesn't seem to really include apartments. So maybe we just like the terms definition.
maybe that's. So residential, I'll match those up with, we'll get rid of the including accessory facilities and residential activities, blah, blah, blah. We'll match it up
Yeah.
with what's in 145.3. Okay. Small and large scale sales. Yeah, those ones were pretty, yeah, that's the big difference between them is the. Schools, this was not previously defined. It was a use, but there was.
And we solidified that.
Yeah, last week or last
Yeah.
meeting too, when we talked about it. Yeah.
It was defined just in 145.
It was in 145. It wasn't defined in the chart. It was up in
Yes.
terms. Yeah, yep,
But we have to fix in both places.
yes. Special care facility is new. This one we talked about a lot too.
Yeah,
So
we combine that one.
yes, yep, yep. This was, I forget what else we put in here. Assisted living, that's what we in fact done here. And then we put in, so this one's pretty big because we did put in some examples about like, yeah, here's the difference between a nursing home and assisted living and long-term and specialized this and, you know,
But all of these count.
I didn't remember talking about memory care facilities, but that one made sense too. So yeah, okay.
They're all way too close to be separate.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then the rest of them, there weren't any changes to. Other than, oh, yeah, I left notes in here and I forgot to highlight in red, and then I went back and found it. It was the temporary commercial activities and temporary non-commercial activities that has that separate chart. That we need to go back and.
I have that chart right here.
I found it after I left the note in there and then, yeah,
I've been keeping that chart right on top for my,
We could have a whole session on that.
yeah,
Wouldn't allow, take out circus.
Yeah.
you know. So, I mean, that chart we could look at separately.
yeah. Can we? Because right now it was one use, wasn't it? And proposed, yeah, it was. Was it one use and we proposed making it two?
It's temporary commercial activity.
And then we said we needed a temporary commercial and a
But some of
temporary.
them weren't commercial activity.
Right, yeah, like if you have a block
Special
party or
event.
something, it was a special
Yeah.
event, or a yard sale was in. That's when we talked about the temporary non-commercial activities.
Yeah, because it says is not for the sale of goods, so it's
Which, yeah.
basically one thing.
Yeah, but I think like a block party, well, no, yeah.
Special events, that would be a
Is
special
that-
event.
yeah, I think we should spend a lot of time talking about this. And also because now that our new committee is going to start planning events for next year, I mean, we should take that into consideration too, the kinds of events we're going to plan.
Which certainly, one of the biggest things, it didn't make any sense for food trucks not to be allowed like to be in the district. It'd be perfect.
Yeah,
Right.
it really would be.
So we really never have looked at it, and this actually gives us a chance to maybe kind of expand on. A food truck would be a temporary commercial activity, and expand on where they would be allowed.
Right, like I might want to do a food truck event at Hartselle Park. Right now, is that something that we would be able to do? What's it zoned over there? Is that high density residential over there?
I might want to do a food truck technically at my house if I have my kid's birthday party and I want to bring an ice cream truck over.
Oh, yeah.
That's.
So, yeah, I mean, it's-
You might do a food truck at the swim club.
Oh,
See how hard it is to get food there?
You can get all the Kit Kats, bars and ice pops you want.
I mean, you got Mr. Softy roaming around. I mean, what do you?
see Mr. Softy. Where is he? He used to come, I can't think of the name of that ice cream truck. When East Point first opened, the first couple years, oh my gosh, that was the most exciting thing when he drove in there, and then he stopped coming. People would chase him down. I was one of them. We would run out our doors after.
Rain chase with my street truck. I got $2. Anyway, okay.
Exactly what I did.
So we will reevaluate that. I'm just curious if we can define them, which I have now, as part of this bigger project and then evaluate the chart later. Or if maybe we just need to do that as a separate piece. Maybe we can get it done as part of this package, but if we can, great. And if we need to have a longer discussion on it, you know, that's.
Well, can we put it on our neck? Well, we have to finish this first, right? I mean, I don't think it'll take us that long.
I think it would, I think if we could get through it and, yeah, if there's not anything else, then, you know.
I mean, we kind of know.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think we need to rethink about yard sales, so. That would be something that I'd like to talk about.
Decide, this is change uses through, or are you gonna try to include?
If we could include it, I think that would be great if we feel like that's what's holding us up to submit a package for recommendation to the trustees, we can do it later. But I think if we have time at the next meeting, let's talk about the chart.
I mean, doesn't it make sense to submit it all together?
I would love to, yeah.
I think it makes
absolutely,
sense. I don't think we should piecemeal it.
Let's talk about submitting. Think that looks like,
yeah. I think it's gonna be at least, well, I mean, it has to be at least a couple meetings anyway.
no,
Well-
but like, I think it would be prudent, I know I'm skipping ahead now. But to give like definitions, a chart.
Yep.
Allow those things to change, and then once the board figures out what they want, then draft the local law.
That would probably make the most sense
Yeah.
because there's, right.
It's gonna be.
What I really want to do is not just say, here, obviously, so I think it's probably gonna be there right now when we go to the trustees to answer
Yeah.
whatever questions they have, to make a presentation about it. I think that we need to draft up and send a letter to them summarizing stuff anyways.
Yeah.
But they're not gonna go over all of this in one meeting and say, yeah, this all looks great. So yeah, I would not draft
Okay.
anything up until
And-
both of those meetings. Like, if we got through it in 2 meetings, and who knows if they're even gonna be back-to-back meetings.
Get it too. So like, we can't just
Yeah.
send it to them like a week before and then, I mean, they need a good, a good few weeks to look through all
I think
that.
some of it, maybe you can start
I mean,
drafting.
I would,
The bulk of it, I would wait.
I would imagine they would have it on a couple of their meetings, like the
Yeah.
first meeting, maybe without us, but maybe the second meeting, they'd want us to come.
I think they probably want us at the first meeting to introduce it and go over it, and yeah, I would think. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Susan. Yeah, Susan's shaking her head, yes.
Yes, please. Am I, no, I'm not muted. Darn. Yes, please.
Yeah, this was kind of a misstep from the solar.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I think we should be for the first one, and yeah. But yes, if we can get this in here, great.
Yeah. No, I think we should try really hard to get this one
Yeah.
page thing done too.
Yeah, I think, I mean, if
It can
the
all,
bulk of this discussion here, we're not gonna have to have at the next meeting, we can go over the chart stuff.
Chart in the code somewhere.
Yeah,
Page 84 of the
Yeah.
PDF.
145. Yeah. Theater nightclub, I know it says no change, but I took the word
Section
discotheque off.
58.
That was it, nothing else. I mean, the rest of those things are, especially like the utility transmission, underground, things like that, there's not really much you can change. Undertaking is, yeah, undertaking.
so going back up to, what was it? Long one,
Construction, sales, storage,
trying to find it.
page 3 technically.
Oh, here it is. So I did go in and run it in ChatGPT. I asked GPT to condense it, but to make it shorter, but to keep the important facts. Yeah, I wanted to, should I paste it in here so you have it? So, or do you want me to
Put it
email
on-
it to everybody? It's just a tool for you to use. I mean, it may not even be,
Just email it to
email it to everybody?
Scott
Okay,
and he can work on it.
okay. I will email it to you, Mike, right now.
Thanks. Okay, that's enough. Okay, yeah, go-
Sorry, just to be, the next meeting will be coming back with everything checked out. Have some,
Mhm.
have some things, Lorraine has,
okay, so,
anybody else, anybody in charge. Pretty much definitions will be taken care of.
yep.
You're gonna review what districts they're allowed in.
That we are, so that we can go over it again. We did go over it one final time, but we can go over it one more time, yeah.
Okay, and then you're gonna review the.
Temporary.
Yep, the chart, yeah. Yeah,
Seems to.
I think those are the last, yeah, unless you know something that's coming up next time.
Well,
we
you
don't
may,
know
you
about.
may have a special.
It would just be the
The first
start of one,
meeting
yeah,
anyway.
so for a first one,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Okay. Okay.
Sorry, so big.
Oh, good.
Getting towards the finish line. The finish line of our part, and then, yeah. Okay, next item on the agenda is to review the draft best law.
Yeah. Great,
Yay.
gave me a solid on this one. And I did an overlay, what was there, yes, and correct me if I'm wrong, Lorraine, most of the items you went down through, pretty much just reworded into.
Yeah, and these are just suggestions, so anything in red that's italicized
Yeah.
are my suggested changes. Things in green and highlighted in yellow are Kevin's.
So if you want to go down through, I mean, Kevin had some questions or something.
Yeah.
There was some good questions too, whether
Yeah.
some of it had to do with, you know, where are we really gonna protect these? And Jim mentioned something about, you know, noise might
Mhm.
help us decide with stuff. So if we can kind of touch on this a little bit, I mean, you don't have to get like super crazy with it. But I think a lot of it, I read it through when I had the changes that Rain made in red. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
It's reworded so it flows
Yeah.
better, it doesn't look this mechanical.
Yeah, well, that was the whole thing, is making it flow, because as I was reading it, it just seemed to it wasn't reading smoothly is what I'm trying to say, so.
It's like reading a fine novel,
Yeah.
couldn't put it down.
My biggest takeaway from this was just reorganizing how this is laid out, so. Like, the definitions for tier 1 and tier 2 should match the solar law and be in 1.53. Because the entire time I'm like, well, what is tier 1 and tier 2? And then it's not defined until the very end. You're going crazy.
Oh, okay.
And then just reorganizing some things.
Like I said, the question Kevin had is, what districts are we gonna allow this?
Yeah.
Okay, and then there was another question we had also Kevin, and he could correct me if I'm wrong, is how long is the special permit good for these? In most cases, special permits are allowed for 3 years before it has to come in. And it's fine if you want to allow less for this. It's over in, this is, validity, abandonment, and cause decommission. It's number 1 under G. Allowed for 12 to 24 months, and Kevin has suggested 12 months. I'm kind of familiar with the process of some of these larger ones. And in general, they are required to have some type of commitment from the municipality for them to be able to move forward with a lot of other aspects of the job. So it may take a little bit longer than the 12 months.
Well, we say the special permit, but in the solar law, it's just the building permit. This includes the special permit and the building permit.
Yeah.
So shouldn't it just be the building permit? Like that they have to start building within a certain amount of time?
That's fine, because they're gonna have, in order to get the building permit, they're gonna have to have everything.
Yeah, but we don't time a special permit like that for the solar law.
We never,
No, we haven't timed out.
Yeah, that's how I read it. I was thinking that this was, if it takes them a year and they don't start any construction.
Yeah,
Yes, so-
that's what the solar law
Building
is.
permit themselves.
Yeah, I guess that's the way I was reading it. But like I said, I wasn't catching the special permit, so it's that sentence.
So if we scratch special permit, because the special permit's already defined.
Yeah, I don't wanna,
Yeah,
Let's
mess with
put
that.
building permit in there, and if you wanna do 12 months, that's fine, because they should have everything done before they come for a building.
and that's what the solar law is too, so I think that's just consistent for 12 months.
You wanna scratch the special permit, the building permit, for any solar system. We're yelling for 12 months.
Yeah.
That's not good.
And then the foraging habitats for pollinators, I guarantee that came from the model law, because that's what the solar law says.
Yeah.
For environmental resources right above G. So I was like, why do we have that?
So the critical question is, where do you want these allowed?
I think it's tough to not allow them everywhere. Or at least. And maybe there's, well. Tier 1 almost has to be allowed. Okay.
Tier one's not, yeah, I think tier two is the big.
Tier 2 is the big one, but that's, I mean, it's,
I'd like to know the threshold between tier 1 and tier 2, which is defined.
Yep.
What size a unit like that? Whether it would take an acre? Or,
the size that,
I can go in and look.
I mean, I can probably look it up really quick. I just can't remember, but that would be something that I would say that probably shouldn't be in residential.
Well,
That's not a Tesla Powerwall is something you want in residential. That thing is not a residential best, you
you're
know,
asking for it in a.
but isn't that in the, oh, that's in the
Yeah.
overlay there, yeah, that's right.
I mean, you have, reason why I think I. More. Objected to. Because I don't think that,
Maybe I'm thinking of it backwards.
space, I don't think you can get enough space. If you need 2 or 3 acres within that commercial district. Whereas a residential district, you'd be,
Yeah,
but then again. You ain't gonna worry about buffering from residential if you're in a commercial district, it always doesn't matter, everything else makes sense. It's something you guys are gonna have. Do what you want.
Thought that statement was a little too. It's good everywhere. Like it felt like it needed a qualifier. It'd just be good everywhere.
what do we do for solar, I forget.
So tier 3 solars and non-residential,
Oh, here we go, okay, yeah.
tier 2, I think is everywhere. All of them.
Tier 2 is non-residential. All non-residential
Tier
districts.
1 and tier 2, all zoning districts.
Well, then this chart doesn't match up. This tier 2 is all non-residential districts. Oh, wait, no, never mind. Oh, yeah, tier 3. Yeah, no. Yays. All residential, agricultural, commercial.
It's all non-residential,
is-
it's not
Oh,
commercial.
what is,
Which two?
oh, okay. Tier 3 is everywhere. No,
No.
non,
Not residential.
PDA, non-residential. And
But not
agricultural.
commercial. But all
I don't like this
non-residential.
one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that chart. I don't know if I find different results. Appendix. A of the solar permit matrix. Yeah, I don't remember that one either. Okay, good. So it's not just me.
I'm looking at it, it's on that.
There's no some.
Yeah, no, that's not good. Oh, you are looking at the chart now. Okay. Yeah, it is. So tier 3 is all non,
One is all residential and agricultural districts.
yes, including PDAs.
Yes. And zone 2 or tier 2 is all zoning
Yes.
districts, including
Including
PDA,
PDAs. And tier 3 is, I think, all
non-residential.
non-residential zoning districts.
Not in all residential. or-
In all non-residential.
So,
Um. You kind of not. Problem with that, you're starting at tier 3 as you would with. In solar, as you would with tier 2, starting to get into. Areas that need more land. Especially solar. Unless you.
We don't want big solar arrays is the problem. Except unless it's on top of the mall.
Yeah, unless it's on top of.
Yeah.
And that would actually,
That's, I think, why we put them there.
okay, so do you want big battery storage areas?
I think the risks are very different
yeah,
in considerations with battery storage versus solar. I mean, the noise is the biggest. Solar panels don't make noise.
Personally, I think that. Low density residential is fine for a battery storage area because you have room for buffering.
that's kind of where I was going when I said maybe I'm thinking about this backwards.
Whereas. You could put it in commercial because there's already noise there, but maybe not have it in. Medium and high density residential.
Yeah.
But there's not enough real, well, it might.
I think there is enough room.
Some of them,
I think there's not enough room in commercial.
Is the question about space, or is it about health and safety impacts?
Oh.
Okay, because it feels
Collaboration.
like we're focusing more on space versus like understanding the true impact. I mean, if it's the same, I don't know, I think we've asked for more information from the companies. Is the impact of BESS the same as solar? If it is, then seems like we would, but it feels like we don't fully know, at least I don't, for you guys, but I know we've asked for more information, so it feels like we're making a decision without having the full picture of what the impact is.
I'd also like to know how much noise they do put out. I guess I'm gonna have to go over to Theory One and stand next to theirs and see how,
That's so small. It's not gonna be like what they're proposing out there.
yeah.
oh, really?
Not that this one that they're proposing, some is like some massive
Huge
thing,
giant
but I mean,
thing.
it's still, it's bigger for sure.
Noise, like if I lived, okay, so if there's a constant humming noise and if I lived close by, that would drive me absolutely crazy.
And I think what she said was the humming noise wasn't there, it's the noise of the fans. And it depends on temperature and stuff like that, but
It would drive me crazy if I
Yeah.
had to listen to that.
it depends on when they're on too, right? Because didn't we ask about like, right, in the winter, you're not exactly worried about cooling things off, but sure, on like a hot August day or a hot July day, sure, those fans are gonna be running.
Yeah.
Probably, but just because they're running doesn't mean, it's super loud. So, but that was one of the things I think we'd asked for.
But those low pitched hums that you can sort of more feel than hear, but you know it's there, you feel it, or just, I mean, I agree with Lorraine.
Yeah,
It
it would
drives
drive
you
me
nuts.
nuts. It would drive me nuts.
But me too, yeah.
I should probably ask Kaylee, she said she would provide
Yeah.
us something. I mean, to get on her to see if she could send us something to tell what it would sound like, or at least give us something.
I mean, is there any better
One nearby.
bridge around here that is large, like in any of the municipalities that's large that we could go listen to?
Give us an example.
Yeah, she did.
Did she, where was it?
Look at the presentation.
Was it like, yeah, where was it? I'll have to go back and listen to that recording.
Yeah.
And then I know that this has like benefits, right, for the energy grid. Do any of those benefits come directly back to the Village of Lansing residents? Is there any way to know? Is it something that we would build into the?
Oh, I did ask that question.
Yes,
Remember?
I know.
Yeah.
And
It's a no. That's-
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not really like,
They can't focus the benefit.
Oh, okay, they don't come. But I think we need them, right? That's just the reality of
Yeah.
best, we need them. Just understanding, I think would be helpful.
Really, if you can give us.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. or-
Maybe we think it's worth this. Maybe it's not as bad. I just don't know.
Oh. We're under this one. We need more information.
Yeah. Before we can finalize some of the stuff in there, yeah, we can just. If Mike's okay with the kind of, what you came up with,
Lorraine,
Lorraine, we can swap those out and clean it up.
Mike, just so you know, I had made a note, this, I don't know what page this is, under ownership changes.
Yeah.
I know we talked about that this was like really long and could we reword it? Anyway, I had run it through ChatGPT, so just so you know, and I think I made a note on here. Anyway, it's all in italics. You may not want to use that. But
I just like that this is, the black one is the same as the solar law. The language is this one. Just keeping things consistent as possible is best.
Yeah. Same as.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so the whole ownership changes, what do you? This,
I would just, I would
Would
make
do
a
that.
match.
have a match?
I would leave it the black. I mean, I like the flow of Lorraine's changes, but I think we should match the solar law.
Yeah. And after you get done, I'm happy to go back through and capitalize battery energy storage system through the whole document again. I mean, I did do it,
I mean, I think it might be best to have, like, just go through and accept Lorraine's red.
Yeah. Okay.
And then we could red line from there, because there are some things like installation of all tier 1 and tier 2 battery energy. Well, that's just installation of all battery energy storage systems, because we only have tier 1 and tier 2. So places where it says tier 1 and tier 2, it's just all battery energy storage.
Yes.
You know? Because then I'm like, well, is there a tier 3? If we're talking about
Not yet.
tier 1 and tier 2?
It should just be all.
Yeah.
You got time to do that, Lorraine?
what? Do what?
Go through and accept all of your changes.
Are you gonna put me on the payroll? Because I have to draw the line somewhere.
One question I have on ownership changes.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with, the obligation appears to be on the successor to
Yes.
assume the obligations. Of course, what if they don't?
Then the special permits revoked.
But would it be a good idea for, to put something in there that the predecessor, in other words, the seller notifies the village?
That's why we have something recorded
Yeah.
in the clerk's office, so that when the title review is done for the purchase, they see that there's a requirement.
Because we had the same discussion,
Yeah.
so like that very same discussion, like we should put, yeah, but.
So we have now crafted something for, like, if a solar energy system now came to Mike, if it's a tier 3, there's a notice form that would get recorded in the clerk's office, indexed to the owner's deed, so that when they go to sell, it comes up in title review that there's a notice requirement necessary for this, and that there is such an like a
So,
permit issue.
but you're saying that the document that's included with the deed, the notice requirement is on the purchaser or on the seller?
It gets recorded whenever a tier 3 solar energy system permit is issued.
Okay,
So that's just on record. So everyone is on notice.
So they have constructive notice, but how does it get actual notice that this is taking place? Or is there some,
You said it would come up during title review,
When you.
and then it would be your obligation. Would this come up during title review? I need to let the purchaser know that there are these.
Or that
Yeah.
alerts the purchaser.
Right, yeah,
Because we're not gonna know when a property goes up for purchase.
Yeah.
You know, we're not necessarily,
Right.
we're relying on title review and then seeing it in the clerk's office. We've provided notice by it being recorded.
I guess what I'm just trying to figure out is how is the village gonna actually know that, hey, there's something in the clerk's office? I think I'm missing something here, but I don't know what it is.
The village is,
Okay, so I'm gonna sell my best
Mhm.
to Kevin.
yeah,
So I have to file the bill of sale or something in the clerk's office. And it includes a condition.
well, when you got the
Yeah.
special permit for yours,
there's a notice of a special permit that is recorded in the clerk's office.
With when I originally
When you
got,
get it.
when I got the permit.
That notice directs the successor that you have to notify the village of the change in ownership.
Yeah,
Okay.
that tells the successor to notify the
Mhm.
village.
so when Kevin buys it,
Kevin notifies.
he has to
the village.
notify the village.
I'm just wondering if there was something about that. I have to notify the village that there's a sale or transfer pending to Kevin. So
The notice
village
was
is,
on the, would put it on Kevin.
Well, the notice doesn't,
Well, not,
you need to alert the
you
village.
need to alert
or
the village, yeah.
yeah. So notification of the village that I'm, selling or contemplating selling the best to Kevin, so the village knows, hey, there's a pending sale. Not to mention that Kevin will maybe still have the obligation to notify the village or notify.
Add something, we'll need to modify the solar law.
Yeah, I'm just posing the question, that's all.
Good point. I don't remember where the conversation took us with ownership changes. With the solar law, I know it was a long conversation. I'll work on it.
All right, I'll make these changes to the battery energy system and I'll send it out there for you.
I'm making them for you.
Yeah.
It's happy to help you. I'm actually doing it right now. I'll send it to you.
And then I'll get a hold of Kaylee.
I'll send it to you tomorrow morning, okay?
Okay.
It'll be in your,
Work on it tonight if I could.
well, then I'll do it right.
Yeah,
But what I'm doing is I'm accepting all of my changes with the exception of that one piece. I'll delete that out. But I'm leaving all of Kevin's changes so you can deal with that. And then I will accept all the changes that I capitalize best throughout the 35 plus of those.
And what do we figure as far as defining tier 1 and tier 2? Figure on putting that someplace else or?
Well, it should go in 145.3.
yeah. Because that's what we do with solar
Yeah.
tiers.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
And and then I'll have questions after Lorraine does that, I'll put in red line.
It'll be less red though. That's good.
Unless you want to go through that.
Mike's got to save his energy up to go through the land changes tomorrow.
He wants to stay. But he's coming down with a virus and he wants to stay up tonight and work on this.
That's it. I'll do you a favor here, Mike. Next item on the agenda is the trustee report.
Okay.
And
Okay, so I was at the trustee meeting, or I observed the trustee meeting. They talked about the village website redesign. They had a company, I think it was Minibit, they gave a presentation. And then there was another one after that. It sounds like that they all were pretty impressed with Minibit's presentation. One vendor really priced them out of it. I think it was Flourish Design. Then talked about the fund balance policy, that a little lost on.
I'm lost to ask Natalie.
It's just how much like spare money the village can be holding for unallocated reasons.
So So they retained a recommended target of 25% to 50% of expenditures as unassigned fund balance. Talked about the emergency plan, preparedness plan, talked about some edits, and the annual review of the plan will occur. And they're going to adapt it to fit into the Tompkins County Emergency Management template while retaining village-specific procedures. Talked about some mutual aid agreements and memorandums of understanding, but no immediate need for those agreements was identified. There was a long discussion about a post-retirement health insurance, potentially increasing the retirement reimbursement cap from the current level. Talked about a couple that I wasn't sure who they were. Then it talked about NICOM training conference and who was going to go. And several trustees had registered already. Got a youth service board update. Recruitment was progressing well. 35 applicants for open positions. There was a report on us. Greenway Committee, a pollinator garden was installed and completed successfully. Residents are helping maintain it through a coordinated watering schedule.
It's Shannon Park, by the way.
Shannon Park, missed the park when they said it was. Sidewalk grant, they're still waiting the state contract. There were some corrections that had to be done, and they think that it should be all set to go. They're just waiting to hear back. And the tree grant is still in process. They want to finalize what trees they're getting. About it.
Next item on the agenda is other business.
Do you guys know what's happening on Oak Crest? Why they're like clearing a bunch of trees along the road?
It's coming from
Horowitz.
Murray Estates putting up a fence around their property.
Oh, okay.
That's what the surveyors can get in there and find out exactly what the property is. So
Wow, do you know why he's doing that?
Who did you say is putting up the
Murray
fence?
Estates here, big acreage over here.
Oh, okay.
But it's Horowitz that owns all that property, right? Isn't it Horowitz that owns all that property? So do you know why they're putting a fence up?
Trespassers.
Keep deer out.
Okay.
People were, I heard at one time you said that there was some. You were like Natalie said that there were people going in there and poaching and stuff.
Oh.
The Horowitz big corn farm.
Oh, okay.
They're getting corn.
Like where all the corn is.
It is now. It's- Yeah, now it's fun.
Yeah, okay. Just wondering because a friend called and asked if she could, I guess they hadn't told her that they were removing trees. And so she was like, well, is there a law for how many trees can be removed? And I was like, I think there is a tree law about removing trees. Oh, okay.
A lot of trees.
Okay, they can remove up to 20. Okay. So it's just a fence that's going around all the properties. Okay. Good. That's it. I have.
That's a lot for trees to remove from a fence.
Yeah, I was wondering about people on motorized bikes and scooters on all the trails. Like my wife got clipped by a kid flying past her the other day.
So I just want you to know that I've already put in a complaint. I've already let Jody know about it. And I let John Courtney know today. I've seen the kids twice. They almost ran me over one day. Well, Friday. That was after they were driving up and down Graham Road at 7 a.m. in the middle of the road at a high rate of speed. I was praying that nobody came down because the kids would be gone. But anyway, I saw them again on Sunday when I was on the trail. And I stopped them. I told them that motorized vehicles were not allowed on the village trail and that they needed to walk. One of them was on a motorized scooter. The other one was on the motocross bike. Anyway, they both walked their things the rest of the way. But I mean, they're young kids. They're like 12 and 13 years old. But I did let John Courtney know today. And Jody knows she'll probably bring it. She may bring it up at the staff meeting Thursday.
Are there signs at the trails that?
Well, that's the thing. There was an issue at the last was it early last spring? Someone was driving their car on the village trail. And one of the neighbors let me know because she was very upset because they almost hit her and her dogs. So at that time, I contacted Ronnie right away. So John did order signs to install, but they've been so busy this summer, it got away from them. And he told me today that they put the signs up. So they've had the signs for months, but haven't gotten to putting them up, but he will be putting them up now. Yep.
You have a police force to enforce this.
Yeah.
Yes, but yeah, so anyway, yeah, I know. I've seen those two and they're two kids. And he said to me, he goes, this is my only way I can get home. I felt like saying, there are other ways you can get home.
Maybe don't go so fast. So if someone is in a blind turn, you can have time to stop.
Yeah.
You can go on the road with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, just not on the trails.
Yeah, well, right. I mean, but they are using the trail on a regular basis. I mean, that's twice I see them in a couple days, right? Did that happen today?
No, this was last week.
Okay, because
There's a couple little kids but they're pretty responsible on the sidewalk with little scooters. They don't fly down the road because
Oh.
them a lot. But I don't know who it is. She said it was a bigger kid.
yeah, they're probably like, I mean, they might be 14. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, they were respectful to me, but they almost ran me over on Friday. They didn't even they were coming up the trail right up the middle and they didn't even slow down or anything. Here I am walking down and there are people behind me walking their dogs and stuff. So anyway, and he goes, I moved over for you on Friday. I go, no, you didn't. I had to get in the grass. It's anyway, I think I took care of it on Sunday, but anyway, everybody knows just so you know. So hopefully the signs will go up and then
At least that way they.
yeah, and that way you can legitimately yell at these kids because there are signs up there. I was hesitant because there's no signs, but then Sunday I was like, that's it. I'm saying something to the kids.
I guess the first one that hits somebody and they get hurt and the person gets hurt.
Hey, I know.
Is this a whole bunch of kids or like just the
Two.
same two or three?
The same two.
Okay.
It's the same.
But it's probably, again, not to belabor it and. I'm sure it's elsewhere in the game, so. Anything else coming? Chip?
I don't have anything. Am I up for trustee report in
I
September?
will find out.
I can tell you, Jim, I have the sheet right here. Yes, you are.
Okay.
I thought it was just, other than that, I have nothing. I think Dad.
Great.
I drove by today and the McDonald's signs are gone.
Oh, are they?
And at first I thought I was dreaming. So I turned around and came back down Trip Hammer and they have removed them all. So thank you, Mike. It looks much better already. And I want to ask you about Lansing Trails. So there are blue arrows all over starting towards the end of Bomax. They come all the way down. They're on Norway. They're also on the trail behind Lisa Bonnewell's house, that asphalt trail that she had put in behind there. What are they doing? Do you know? Oh,
Yeah, they're spray painted on the ground. They're on Janivar. They're on Janivar. I just saw them.
I'm trying to figure out what.
And they usually do that if there's like a race.
If there's one.
Okay,
Like a race or a 5K.
it's a race Saturday. I thought it had something to do with the development there. Oh, it was the Borg Warner. It's a race they do every year.
Usually when usually it's,
So that's what that was for?
I'm not sure if that's what it's for, but usually when there's things like that, it's because then I followed the ones that I at least saw, I was like, oh yeah, I see
Oh, yeah. Well, and then it went around. So I thought maybe,
Some trails and yeah, I mean, if it's some cross space property or whatnot, on the side of the road, it probably means water.
Yeah, these weren't the water ones. Yeah, these were arrows.
the trail behind her house, that was marked. That was not part of the race.
Oh.
They were on, the race came down from Borg Warner down Bomax, down Norway and down Janivar and then back and all the way down to Craft Road and then back around and they come all the way back up and then go back to Borg Warner. Well, it's a mystery. I'll keep you posted. I did see her with a couple contractors one day coming off the path, so something's going.
I know. So couldn't tell you what else.
I think that's it. That's.
Good. Okay. Wait.
Other than this, you may have a special permit next meeting. That would be for ground mounted solar.
Oh. I know. Okay.
Wait.
Okay. Okay. If there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn at 9:01 PM.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Soledad, second by Jim, all in favor. Aye. Thanks, everybody.
Good night, all.
Nice.
Good
Night.
Right.